Hey, what's up, YouTube? Let's try this again. I just tried to do a video a few minutes ago, but my boy started crying and stuff, so I went in there and made sure that he was okay. It's pretty early yet. It's about 20 after 6 here in Guam, Thursday morning. Just wanted to give a quick status update. So, from Tuesday to now, a little story or timeline. On Tuesday morning, we dropped him off at daycare, and he seemed to be perfectly fine. And then, I don't know, about 2 hours later or so, they called and said he had vomited. Sorry, I'm a bit tired. I'm just waking up. But he had vomited and wasn't nothing but milk, so we didn't really think too much of it. So we brought him another shirt, took his temperature, checked him, checked to see if he was doing okay. He seemed fine. He was still playing, still being just as goofy as normal. So I went back to work, and then about 2 or 3 hours after that, I get another phone call saying that he had broken out in hives. So naturally, I was like, "What the hell's going on?" Got in the car, went and got him, and then brought him home, looked at him, looked at his whole body, and noticed that his lower extremities were extremely swollen and hives all over his body, including his private area was extremely swollen. So uh, we said, okay, let's go to the ER. We went to the ER that night, Tuesday night. It was about 6 p.m. or so. The military doctors over here, man, some people just should not be a doctor, and I'll leave it at that. But some of them are good, some of them are not at all. Should not even be functional. I don't understand it, and I got a lot of questions I have left in my mind I want to ask up top. So we'll see how that turns out, and I'll let y'all know. But basically, the first two ER doctors that saw my son, who's 3 years old, by the way, were like, well, the swelling on his penis and his lower area is not related to the hives that he has, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? So anyway, we stayed there in the ER. We were there for about 4 hours or so, and with no results really. They just kept wanting to obviously try to conduct testing and stuff like that. And I'm like, hey man, the boy, he wasn't acting weird or anything like that. Let's just give him some Benadryl and see, how that turns out. Hey Ash, how you doing? So we gave him some Benadryl. The swelling went down a good bit. The hives pretty much stayed the same. They weren't getting any worse. So I told the ER doctor, I said, listen, I'm not going to put him through any more bull. It's like 10 o'clock at night on Tuesday at this point. He normally goes to bed at like 8. So we brought him home. He passed out in the car. He was fine. He was still swollen up and stuff. But that's my neighbor talking to me. Uh, we turned around, woke up the next morning. His face was swollen up. His lips were huge. His feet were swollen. We didn't know what the hell was going on, so we rushed him back to the ER. Almost called the ambulance. I mean, it was scary stuff. Thankfully, we are on Guam. It's a small island. We drove him to the hospital. We got there, no problem. The concern was because his face, I mean, this whole area right here was all numbed up. Luckily, it wasn't. His neck was fine. So once the airway gets swollen, that's scary stuff. You guys don't want to have to deal with that anaphylactic shock, or he can't breathe, he's not getting oxygen, whatever. So anyway, excuse me, getting a bit sick myself. So anyway, bring him back to the doctor on Wednesday morning, and he gets into the ER. We ended up seeing about 15 different specialists that morning. So a urologist and a pediatrician were actually there versus the night before where it was just ER doctors that aren't really specialized and they don't know how to deal with kids. And they put that, I mean, I don't like how the hospitals, I don't know how the public hospitals are in your town where you're at, but in the military hospitals, yeah, it's great. You can take him to the ER, that's fine for trauma or if there's something serious going on, but it shouldn't be where you have to deal with really, really, really bad bedside manner just because they're not used to kids. I mean, I'll give you an impression of the first doctor that walked into the room. He walks in like this. Well, I think that it's completely unrelated. Like, he's looking down like this. I think it's completely unrelated that your son has swelling. The first thing I thought when I walked into the room, I'm going to tell you right now, this guy's a quack. Now, I don't know him, and I'm not going to say any names on here, but are you serious? Dude, when you can't make eye contact with people, I'm sorry, I grew up in a working family, and honesty and eye contact is everything. Perception is everything. So whether or not this guy's a good doctor or not, I already didn't have any confidence in him as soon as he walked in the room. Now, with that being said, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I let him say what he had to say. But then when he tried to tell me that it was unrelated, that his feet and his face or his body was swelling, his penile region was swollen, and he had a rash all over his body, and he said it's completely unrelated. And I said, yeah, absolutely, Norm. This is a doctor on a military base, so he's probably obviously he's got the degree. He's been commissioned, so he is a doctor, but he's not a good doctor. But that from what I saw that night, he was not a good doctor. Anyway, filing a complaint on that. The second doctor we saw, he was a little bit better, but again, he was trying to say that the swelling in his lower extremities was not related to the rash all over his body. I think what was going on was they were internally, like amongst themselves, they were probably saying, oh, something else, something funky. These people are doing something funky to their kid, whether they're molesting him or whatever the hell. The only reason I say that is every time you bring anybody into a military hospital, they're more worried about, is it abuse? Is it abuse? Is it abuse? Than they are actually taking care of the problem. So, I don't abuse my kids. And if anybody ever did abuse my kids, I'd kill them. So, basically, it's the big middle finger to anybody who wants to assume anything before actually trying to fix the problem. Anyway, the point of this update is just to let y'all know that's where I've been. So, I've been in and out of the hospital with my boy. He is doing fine now. The swelling has subsided. In the end, the last visit we made with the urologist and the pediatrician, they actually figured out that what medicine to put him on. So they got him on the right stuff now, I believe. His swelling has subsided and he's doing better. And I'll be back online soon, y'all, so bear with me. I should be back on PlayStation tonight. It's like 6 a.m. now, so we'll see what happens today, and I'll keep y'all up to date, all right? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. CB out. That's my front yard. See y'all later.